Good morning everyone. Today we're going to talk about how the internet works and a visual history of the internet. Our first topic today is how the internet works. First off, what is the internet? The internet is a global network of interconnected computers and devices that communicate using standard protocols to share information and resources. How the internet works. The internet is made up of vast networks of cables, fiber optics, and wireless connections. Devices communicate using the Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol, which is the TCP and IP. Here's the breakdown. Transmission Control Protocol or TCP ensures data is sent and received accurately by breaking it into small packets, numbering them, and reassembling them correctly at the destination. Make sure the data arrives correctly and is the right order, like making sure a letter isn't missing pages. Next is the Internet Protocol or the IP. Assigns unique addresses or IP addresses to devices so that data packets can find the correct destinations. Helps find where data needs to go, like an address on a letter. Here's an example. 192.1.0.2.1 or most of the time it is 192.168.000 and 0.777 like that. That's just an example. Next is when you enter a website, your browser sends a request to a domain name system or the DNS server to find the website's IP address. The request travels through the routers, which direct data packets to their destination. The data reaches a web server that processes the request and sends back a response, which then travels back to your device. So here is the picture of how the DNS works. So first off, this is your PC. It connects to the resolving name server or your ISP or internet service provider, next to the root name server, next to the TLD name server, or like .com or .net, or if you're searching google.com or something with has to do with .net. Next is the authoritative name server or the DNS hosting provider. Next, it searches the DNS records and then it reaches to the web server and cites files. And if the DNS finds the file you are looking for, it goes back to your PC and it displays on your screen. Here's the breakdown of the names. DNS is the domain name system, ISP, Internet Service Provider, TLD, top level domain. So, key components of the Internet. Servers stores and serve data such as website, applications, and files. Routers direct and manage data traffic between devices and networks. Internet Service Providers or ISPs, companies that provide internet access to users. So like Globe, PLDT, or other more companies that provide internet access. And protocols. Rules such as Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol like TCP and IP, Transfer Protocol or HTTP, and Domain Name System (DNS) that govern data transmission. Data centers. Large facilities that store and process vast amounts of internet data. So that's the key components of the internet. So how does the data across the internet? How does data travels across the internet? First is a user enters a website URL into a browser. Then the browser sends a request to the domain name system or DNS server to find the corresponding IP address. Next, the request is then broken into small packets which travels through a multiple routers and switches. 4. Each packet follows the best possible route to reach the web server. Then 6. The server processes the request and sends the web page's data back in packets. Then the browser reassembles the packets to display the websites, and that's how the website displays on your PC or mobile phones. So next topic is a visual history of the web. The first topic is Advanced Research Project Agency Network or ARPANET, precursor to the Internet, developed by the United States military. In the 1960s, the United States Department of Defense developed the ARPANET as a way to create a secure and reliable communication system. This was during the Cold War and the US military needed a network that could survive disruptions such as attacks or system failures. So here's the key feature of the ARPANET: packet switching technology. Instead of sending data in one big chunk, ARPANET broke it into small packets which could travel independently and reassemble at the destination. First successful connection is in 1969. The first message was sent between two computers at UCLA, or University of California, Los Angeles, and the Standard Research Institute, marking the birth of the Internet. Foundation of the modern Internet, or the ARPANET. ARPANET introduced key Internet technologies including TCP and IP, which later became the basis of today's Internet. While ARPANET was originally for military and research purposes, it laid the groundwork for the World Wide Web and modern Internet as we know it today. So next is the Transmission Control Protocol, or Internet Protocol, the TCP and IP protocol introduced, creating the modern Internet. In 1983, the development and complementation of the Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol marked a defining moment in the history of Internet. This change revolutionized communication and laid the foundation for the modern and global Internet we use today. The ARPANET, or the precursor to today's Internet, officially switched to TCP protocol and IP protocol. This historic date is often called the Flag Day of the Internet because it marked the end of older, less efficient protocols like NCP, or Network Control Protocol, and the beginning of a unified, scalable system for digital communication. Next is Tim Berners-Lee invents the World Wide Web, or we know it today as the WWW. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist at CERN, or European Organization of Nuclear Research, proposed the idea of the World Wide Web, or the WWW. The goal was to help researchers to share and access information efficiently across different systems. To make this possible, Berners-Lee introduced several core technologies. Here is the HTML, HTTP, and URL. The HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, a standard language for creating a web pages. So HTML is used to create web pages where you can visit and click stuff so you can view more informations as you search. HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is a protocol for transferring web data. URL is a uniform resource locator, a system for identifying and locating resources on the web. So it's basically the locator, as it says on the name. So here's the breakdown. And the first website was created in 1990 and made available to the public in 1991. It provided information about the web itself and how others could create their own websites. The invention of the World Wide Web made the Internet accessible and user-friendly, eventually transforming it into the global communication and information sharing platform we rely on today. So here's an example. So here's a picture of example of the World Wide Web where you can visit. So it's so dry and not much design. It's you can this blue thing right here. You can click this and it can show you more information. So what's out here? You can click on the subjects and release servers, etc. So the release of the Mosaic, the first graphical web browser, in 1993. In 1993, the development and release of Mosaic, the first widely used graphical web browser, marked a major milestone in the history of the Internet, created by a team of developers led by Mark Andreessen and Eric Bena, and the National Center of Supercomputing Application, or NCSA, at the University of Illinois. Illinois. Mosaic made the World Wide Web visually engaging and easier to use. Unlike previous text-based browsers, Mosaic allowed users to view images and text together on the same page, and it featured a simple point and clicking interface. This innovation made web browsing more intuitive for the general public and played a significant role in popularizing the internet. So here's a picture of example of Mosaic. So now it has a picture, so you can visually see it, not like the old one where it's all text and not appealing to the eye. So next is the 2000s, the rise of social media, word, mobile web, and cloud computing. The early 2000s marked a transformative period in the evolution of the internet which, with the emergence of social media, the mobile web, and the cloud computing. Social networking platforms like Friendster in 2002, MySpace in 2003, Facebook in 2004, and YouTube in 2005, and Twitter in 2006 revolutionized online communication and digital interaction, allowing users to create content, connect globally, and share experiences in real time. So here's the apps that emerged in the early 2000s. We have Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, I don't know what that is, Instagram, and many other more. Additionally, cloud computing began to gain traction, allowing data storage, software, and services to be hosted online rather than on individual service devices. Services like Google Drive, Dropbox, and Amazon Web Services or AWS help businesses and individuals access a scalable, cost-effective computing resources over the internet. So here's the major event in history. 1995, Amazon and eBay launch, beginning the e-commerce boom. 1998, Google is founded, revolutionizing search engines. 2004, Facebook launches, leading the social media revolution. 2007, introduction of the iPhone, making the mobile internet mainstream. And 2010, artificial intelligence or AI, blockchain, and cloud computing reshape the web. So that's all for today. I thank you for listening. Thank you for staying here. Bye.